And so if you think about a question you want to ask one of the diamonds, platinums, come on up. We've got 20 minutes for Q&A, and then we're going to draw for the raffle basket. If you don't have your raffle ticket, make sure you go get one. It's about $250. Marlene has those. So we got all our diamonds and our platinums. Come on up. Huh? We need a round of applause for our diamonds and our platinums. Yeah. Move on up. Just move on in front. Okay, you good? Here we go. Move on in. Look at this beautiful group. Whoa. Okay. Who's got a question? All right, go ahead.
So when you start enrolling people, how do you know how to strategize and put them where? Like someone maybe, good question, not a good leader material, so where do I put that person?
Okay, so what I'm going to ask our leaders to do, can Jim Bob get up there too? Can we scoot closer? Yeah, do a round. No, circle around. So, it's kind of fun watching leaders figure it out, isn't it? Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do.
Watch that cord.
I want you to, when you answer, you take 1 minute or less, all right? And you repeat the question that you heard, all right? So who wants to be the first to answer that question?
Okay, so you keep the mic now, you guys manage it.
Okay. Thank you. Quickly, we never know who's going to be a leader. You know, Sarah said very clearly, and we all know that who've experienced it here. They'll say, I want to do the business. They've been great leaders in other things. I've got family who are phenomenal in sales. They don't sign up a single person. So we never know. We don't take that for granted. What I do is look at the relationships. And whether it doesn't matter if they necessarily live near them, but who are they and what do they need? It's always about that new person. What do they need? Who do they need? What are their interests? So when I have certain kind of interests that I know, and I ask them, and we talk. That's how you get to know somebody. And then I look for any match for them, because that's more important in building community than making me money.
It depends on who invited me. If I'm invited into somebody's home and I'm speaking as their guest, and people in the group say, well, I want to sign up, then the first thing I'm going to do is turn to my hostess and say, are you interested in signing up under Young Living? And if they say, oh, yes, 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 and then I'll say, okay, now, if I sign these people up under you, you realize that you then have to take the responsibility to educate them. And if they go, oh, well, wait a minute now, then I'll say, well, then how about I sign these people up under a leader who has already agreed that they will educate, and then I will sign you up with them. So that's how I do it.
If I sponsor somebody under somebody else, if I'm enrolling, I place them there, they're mine to take care of, period.
Yeah.
If I give away enrollership and sponsorship to somebody who doesn't know that person, that newbie is still my responsibility. Okay, so that's how I do mine. So I think every one of us are going to give you a little bit of a different answer, and every situation's a little bit different also. So you almost have to play it out as to what is the scenario looking like at that point.
Next question? Yep. Oh boy, there's so many here.
When you have, I'm a sober. So
Congratulations.
Thank you. But now I'm at that point now where I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have people like signing up and they're like 50 PVers, or they're zero to 50, or maybe zero for the last 11 months, or whatever. How is it that you start? Some people are doing that where they send out little gifts for the first 3 months. Some people
Yeah.
And I don't know them. They're like 12 levels down, but they're with people that haven't been plugged in. So I don't even know what they've learned. So how do you reach those people to bring them in?
Sure.
Repeat
I
your
don't
question.
believe, what she's asking is, what do I do if I've got a bunch of people on my team that are 0 PV or maybe real low PV, and maybe they're not on essential awards? Like, how do I get them from just placing an order here, going 6 months, placing an order? I don't believe in chasing people, okay? I'm not going to do a year's worth of follow-up with the same people. I'll do one mailing. I'll expect something back in return from them, like maybe reading Fearless and filling out the challenges or whatever method you have for getting people on essential awards. I'll give them one shot, all right? But I'm more of a firm believer in kicking the dust out from under your feet and getting out there and teaching classes. You know, I'm not going to do a mailing this month and a mailing in 3 months, and which people did I mail to and which ones did I not mail to, and this person's only got 1 bundle, so they need to get 3 more bundles, and this is bundle 2, and this is bundle 3, and this is bundle 4. You either want a clean living lifestyle or you don't. And if you're training your team in duplication and they're using some form of a 101 script, and you know that's getting duplicated throughout the team, then you know that person in that class has gotten that information already. It prompted them to get the kit. They were sparked at one point. Reach out to them once. If they don't get on essential awards and you're not getting any response, then go teach classes and train your leaders to teach classes and keep duplicating that. I mean, 80% of your time should be spent in prospecting, not in going back through your organization, finding all the people that have dropped off, writing them when they haven't heard from anybody in 18 months, or sending them 3, 4, 5 packages throughout the year. If they're not responding to that, then kick the dust off and go move to the next person in your classes, right?
Also, if I find that if I have people who were doing the business and then they kind of stopped, and I'm like, oh, how do I stay connected to them? They're not my people. They are, but they're connected to that person. I will write a big email that says, hey, I'm Susan. By the way, I'm called an upline, you know, and I get friendly and happy and goofy with them, and I just let them know, if you don't feel supported, I'm here for you. So that way I'm reaching people who I normally wouldn't have reached because I thought they were being taken care of by somebody. That's another way to do it.
I think a good philosophy is never forget a customer and never let a customer forget you, and stay in touch with them. I wish I could take credit for that, but many, many years ago, I ordered a bottle of oil from a company, and they sent me the newsletter for like 10 years. And they came out with new products, and then 10 years later, I started buying a lot of product from them because they never let me forget them. And so we used to send out a physical newsletter. Now we send out an email newsletter every month, and we send out welcome packs to everybody. And we don't let them forget us, and hopefully they don't forget us either, because every once in a while, a year or 2 later, someone calls up and says, hey, I think I'm ready to get started. And so you never know. I think it was Mark Twain said, you can't tell how far a frog will jump by looking at it. And so we never know who's going to be the one to jump on it. But you just keep staying in touch with them, and sooner or later they're ready.
Another question? There's a question.
Yes.
Distributor. So this might help those that have distributors in your lives. When you're in a situation where I fully believe in Young Living Oils, I'm the only one in my family.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we all got that.
And to move forward, because I eventually do want as a business. But when you're getting so much background attacking, how do you stay, what can you stay positive
Well, the question is, how do you stay positive when all of your relatives are negative? Okay, so.
Hi, I feel for you. One of the things I learned early on, because I walked into a holistic lifestyle when I was about 16, and I was made fun of by everybody, family, friends, it didn't matter who. What I developed might help you if you think of yourself as uniquely, wonderfully smart to do the right thing, regardless of whether others understand that or not. Smile through it. Don't take their word that you are not worth following your path. Please. You can love everybody. You don't have to like their actions or think that they know more than you about what you need for you.
Next question.
Can you go down the line and tell us what your personality colors are?
Sure, let's start with the front row so they can get some talk time in here. I want to make sure everybody on the stage is getting included here.
They won't let me hide. Okay. I'm a raging red, secondary blue, just enough yellow not to kill people, and 0 green.
Mostly red, but red and green mix.
All red. Red and green.
I'm a rainbow, and it finds depending on what, because I'm a water element, so whatever you put me into, that's how I adhere, and I think that's why I'm as successful as I am, because I play to each personality. What they need is kind of, I'm able to become what they need. I can party hardy, but I can also lead, and I can be a pearl, and I can do green really well. So.
I'm red on stage and green when I write.
I'm pretty much red and blue.
I'm blue, and I like the party. I like the fun. I love the people. I write. When I write, I'm red. But I will tell you, looking out over the personalities of the diamonds, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I mean, there's a mix of all of them. I mean, if I look out over my team and I look at just my silver leadership and above, we've got 33 silvers on the oil ability team and up. Right now, 31 are soft-spoken. 31. So if you think that you can't do this because you're quiet, our team defies that. Most of the team is not really loud and obnoxious like me. Most of them are very, very quiet. So your money doesn't matter. Where you live doesn't matter. How many friends you have doesn't matter, because the diamonds all have different profiles. Some come, I mean, you look at Melissa Pepping, what, 600 people in her town that she lives in? You've got Vanessa Romero, who lives in a major city. Right, so that doesn't matter. We got diamonds that came from poverty. We got diamonds that came from wealth. Diamonds that are red, blue, yellow, green, chameleons, purple, brown, white, whatever. Yeah, we got it's not a defining factor. The only defining factor is your tenacity and whether or not you think you can do it. You don't think you can do it, you're not going to rank. Okay.
Shy introvert. For real. So I'm mostly yellow. And when I write, I'm red. It all depends. So, you know, Sarah summed it all up. Doesn't matter. People who care can walk out of anything and do what they have to do because they care that much. If you don't have the passion, ain't going to happen no matter what color you are, what disc personality, what bank code, whatever you use. It's not going to happen. You have to care that much to make a difference in your life and in the life of the world. And that's for anybody who has family who doesn't agree. So what?
I'm a red. I consider myself a red with a yellow underbelly. So I write or I yoga. I teach through a caring heart, while my red personality has taken me on the Broadway stage and singing and wah, you know, so it's I got both ends of the spectrum. And I also agree, it is what got me to the Broadway stage, that it was because I loved it so freaking much that nothing was going to get in my way. I had to get there. And my mom said, Susan, get yourself another job because the auditions are not working. And I said, uh-oh, and that either would have kicked my butt and I would have said, okay, can't do it, or I better frickin' do this because I do not want a second job. And so I did it. So it's okay. You can be a yellow and still have a lot of passion.
There you go. I'm white. That wasn't in the course, was it? No, that's a full spectrum of all the colors, but it's not important what color we are. It's how good we become at determining the color of our prospects. Because if you're a blue and you're talking to a green, or you're a red and you're talking to a yellow, it's going right over their head. You might as well be talking another language. So That is, and I don't care if you learn the red, blue, green, yellows, or whether you learn the, appraiser, exasperator, relator, whatever kind of, all the fish ones, the doggy ones, there's 100 seminars on it. Learn to determine what your prospect is, and then you can communicate with them.
He took it. He totally blew my cover, man. Gosh. I'm definitely not a white, but no, I totally get it. And that's the thing I was going to say is I was like, I think the colors totally matter. I think your personality matters a ton, because then when you know yourself and you know the people you're talking to, you can actually connect and communicate with them. If you don't know your personality and you don't know yourself well enough, then there's no way that you're communicating to someone else authentically, because then you're just trying to mimic everybody and you're trying to be them, and you can't because you're not them, right? So I'm a blue-red. Like, I'm equal parts. I'm 1 point off on both, which is why I'm like, hey, it's fun. Get it done. Like real quick. So it makes my kids think that I'm, crazy, but it's cool. But yeah, I would say, like, the studying on it, like Paul said, I don't care if you do gems with Danny Johnson, or you do Jacob Adamos colors, or you do Myers-Briggs, or whatever it is. Whatever allows you to understand you and allows you to connect with people that you're in front of, that's it. Like, because that person in front of you has to know that you think they're the most important person in the world in that moment, or they will not buy a kit from you. Because you get 30 seconds. Like, when they meet you, you get 30 seconds for them to connect with you. I don't give a crap what you're selling. They want to know whether they trust you or not in 30 seconds. And if you don't connect with them in 30 seconds, it doesn't matter if you're selling tires, oils, or golden bricks. They